Hello guys, it's your host from the Brett's Review Show. Let's fire up this review. Today's review is from Pokemon Generations Episode 11. The New World, or so it seems. The New World with plans to bring about a brand new world. Get rid of the old, let's bring in some new, start a new universe, a whole new thing. Freaking Cyrus has lost his mind, the leader of Team Galactic. he's facing a hard opposition. The poor dude is so grumpy and so fed up with this world that he doesn't want to live here. He thinks the world is terrible. It's not worth it. It's like a completely ugly shut up phone and completely just basically flat out useless, and he wants to get rid of it. He thinks it's weak and pathetic, and basically to add on to that, and what he sets out to do, just like in the anime, they try to do all this research about the history of the Sinnoh region of Dialga and Palkia, and then the three legendaries, Uxie, Asprit, and Uxie, Mesprit, and Axel or Azil, Azura. I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for that, for not remembering the third one, but all those three chose three people to connect with, and instead of choosing three people from the three generals that you battle against in Pokemon Platinum, or basically the games, and we see it in the anime, they didn't choose them because to these other three legendary Pokemon, they weren't worthy, but Ash and Brock and Dawn were. And with that, going back to evil General Cyrus, hey, say hello to my notes. With going back to Cyrus, he wanted to give birth to a new world, and he needed the legendary Pokemon to do it, but he couldn't just ask them to come together and then, or at the ruins, and then ask them, hey, can you create a new world for me? He couldn't do that, and he refused to. He wanted to force them to do it, and one way to get the two legendaries, Dialga and Palkia, to do what he wanted, he needed the red chain. He needed to bind them with the red chain. And the only way to get the red chain and get access to the ruins is a key and the little stones in the center of these three Pokemon's head. And using that chain and taking it by force from these Pokemon, which put these Pokemon's lives at risk, causes the red chain to be born, which the red chain is used to bind Palkia and Dialga, and they are forced under Cyrus's control, which means they have to do whatever Cyrus tells them to do. And when he's out there on the peak of Mount Corna, I'm trying to remember, I didn't write it all down. I'm pretty sure it's Corna, or Cornet, in hopes to start a new world. To start a new universe, he wanted to do it by his own creation, and just as this was about to happen, the champion, even though it handled differently in the anime, but here it portrayed that the champion Cynthia and her partner Garchomp tried to stop them and force the release of the two legendaries. And then all of a sudden something strange happens, and Dialga and Palkia automatically notice it. and then everybody looks down at the ground. A strange black sludge kind of portal just opens, and a shadow Pokemon, all you see is his eyes, but then this sludge starts to take form as it rises, and it takes the form of Giratina. And Giratina stares down Cyrus. Stares him down. And Giratina does save Dialga and Palkia. It destroys the red chain, obliterates it. So he can't control Dialga and Palkia anymore, and because he ordered Dialga and Palkia to attack them, just like he did, or ordered them to attack Ash and his friends in the anime. And when Giratina comes back down after saving Dialga and Palkia, and they go back to their own worlds, their own realms, Giratina comes back and lands right in front of Cyrus, and again stares him down. And so Cyrus smiles at Giratina, and he says something that like, "You're here to ruin everything, aren't you?" He might have said that before he ordered Dialga and Palkia to attack, but either way, Giratina was there to mess his night up. And then all of a sudden, Giratina just comes up and just, as if it was just gonna gobble him up, just boom, gone. They disappear. The other members of Team Galactic all of a sudden freak out, and they're in a desperate search for their leader. They're trying to get him to answer on the comms, and because they lost their leader. And in the other dimension, or Giratina's dimension, the other world, Cyrus awakens, and he's looking around. He sees Giratina. They have like a staring competition, and he starts questioning it. He contemplates what he wants, but then at the end he just accepts Giratina's other dimension, his other world. Giratina's world, the distortion world. I remembered. And he just accepts, like, you know what, I can get used to this. I wanted solitude. Overall, Cyrus wanted solitude. He didn't want anyone else around. He just wanted a world of solitude. He wanted to be left alone. That's all he really wanted. Weird. A guy who wants to be completely left alone and starts a criminal organization to steal Pokemon, gather energy, do this or that, force legendaries to do what he wants, in the process of the Pokemon losing their lives, or many people losing their lives, in order to get what he wants, and that is just a world of solitude. Kind of boring. But back at headquarters, the rest of Team Galactic and the last general, or the last general of, because the other two generals were on the mountain with Cyrus. The other one, the guy with the Toxicroak, was back at headquarters, panically calling Cyrus to try to get an answer. After trying one or two more times, only to hear, "Don't come looking for me." And that is it. It goes to static and no more communication. Overall, even though it was a little change from what we know in the anime, it's still a good episode, and with the whole Giratina coming in, being the hero, the overall hero and the last line, "Don't come looking for me." I give this episode of Pokemon Generations 8.5 out of 10. And hopefully after the Alolan region, they, kind of fill in some gaps, because the Alolan region anime kind of needs a little work. It's still cringy. The only thing that's going for it... Why am I talking? That's. I already did a review about that. What am I doing? But overall, Pokemon Generations, episode 11, the New World, it's an 8.5 out of 10. So anyway, guys, I am your host, and I will see you guys next time. So let's cool down and look forward for the next review. Peace.